Today, I'm going to go through my guitar collection and tell you all about the features and why I bought them. Let's dive in. Alright, so every guitar player has his guitars, and I thought I'd spend a video just giving you guys an idea of what guitars I've bought on my wall back here and why I bought them and what I use them for. I'll go through some cool features, what makes them great, and maybe inspire you guys to pick out a guitar that is maybe your favorite to give you guys a template to build your own guitar in the future. Alright, I'll give you guys these guitars in order from when I got them. The first guitar being this PRS SE Custom. Now, I got this custom when I was about 15 years old or so. It is a very, very old guitar made in Korea, but unlike the original PRS SE Custom, I've made some modifications to it. When in college, I really liked to play metal guitar, so I ended up getting a EMG 85X and an EMG 65X. In the pickup selection. That is going to make them active pickups, which is pretty cool, but I get to play metal on this guitar, and it's a whole lot of fun. I also happen to get a brand new stop tail bridge with adjustable saddles from StewMac. That way I could adjust intonation from the back of the guitar, because the stop tail they gave me when this first started out, it wasn't very good, and I definitely needed some help with the intonation of this instrument. This guitar ran me about $400 back in 2005. You could probably find these for about $600 nowadays. So when I came to Nashville, I got my next guitar, and it took me a long time from the time I was 15 to when I was, 21 to buy this next guitar. And that's because I had a rule that I'd never buy music gear unless I got the money from playing music. Now, gigs were slow at first, but I managed to save up enough money to get my first custom guitar, and this is the guitar. Now, this guitar is made by the boys at 30th Street Guitars in New York City. They make guitars all across the sessions world, and people from the Roots play them. A lot of session guitarists here play them, and I really wanted something to be a Swiss Army knife, so to speak. So what I ended up getting was, I got this custom-made Strat style guitar, really thick neck, rosewood fretboard, but I've got a jazz bucker in the neck position, I've got a DiMarzio Area 67 in the middle position, and I've got a hot rodded pickup right here in the actual bridge position. What's cool about this guitar is that each of the humbuckers are splittable, so if I wanted to get a single coil sound with these humbuckers, I just pull up on my tone knobs and off to the right as we go. It is a really cool guitar though. It's got an all nitro body in that cherry red that I really, really like. It's got a nice beefy roasted maple neck, and it feels really good underneath your fingers. Now, you can't have a bunch of Strat style guitars and not have a Les Paul. So the Les Paul that I got was actually 2 or 3 years ago. It cost me about $800, and this is a 1990 Les Paul Studio. I like the 1990s Les Paul Studios because they were the best of its class during that decade, so I wanted to be sure I was picking out a Les Paul that was going to sound great, and this one really does. It's got an ebony fingerboard. It's got these trapezoid, inlays, which, as you guys may not be aware, I am a huge fan of trapezoid inlays. I've got all original electronics in here except for the tone and volume knobs. I did have these rewired into a 50s wiring that'll change the tone subtly, but it essentially makes the volume knob essentially a slave of the tone pot, so I can get some really nice mellow tones by just rolling down my tone knob, and it sounds really great. I mean, it's full bodied. It's obviously got that classic 90s Les Paul neck. As you can tell, it's definitely an Alpine cream. Used to be an Alpine white, but it just looks super sharp. I mean, who doesn't love a guitar like this? I mean, honestly. Alright, so the next guitar I bought is this beautiful seafoam green Telecaster, once again, from the boys at Russ Guitars. Not a lot of people are willing to spend a bunch of money to buy a custom Telecaster, but you know what? I am. This Telecaster comes with Lindy Fralin pickups, incredible pickups, probably the best pickups I've ever played on a Telecaster, and I've actually got a different tone pot in this Telecaster. It's meant to simulate the style of an actual P90 pickup, so when I roll down my tone knob, it's going to give me different tonal options than a standard Tele would. And of course, a beautiful seafoam green. Look at this, beautiful nitro, and of course the roasted maple neck, totally perfect. And this guitar did cost me about $2,000 or so, but it sounds so great and looks so pretty. Who wouldn't want one of these? Now, I've got a customized Strat style guitar, but I really needed a Stratocaster that was going to offer me more vintage tones from an actual era. and you guys know how much I love early 1960s Strats, and so I found this guitar on Reverb. This is a Bluesman vintage guitar. John from Bluesman Vintage makes these guitars out in Spring Hill, Tennessee, a little south of Nashville, and essentially these guitars are designed to be met with custom specs from the days of yore. Okay, this is a 1962 sedan style, so you can see that vintage kind of sunburst on the actual Stratocaster. You see the black, the red, and the brown coming through really, really well. And this guitar does have custom pickups to suit the 1962 voicing. Now, you would think that this guitar would have cost me another $2,000. Now, don't fret, although John does make Stratocasters to order in the 2000s plus range, one thing about builders, as you know, in my how to buy gear video, is that a lot of these lesser known builders have a lot of great aftermarket offerings that people will resell their guitars, and they lose a bunch of money on the resell. So, although this guitar costs about $2,000 to make, I found it on Reverb and talked a guy down to selling it to me for $1,000. Really quite a steal. It's got a really thin neck, kind of like the style of the early 60s, and it just feels really good underneath your fingers. And if you like classic Strat tone, this guitar is a beauty. Now, I have a thing about taking really expensive guitars out to the local pubs to play music. Downtown is just a messy, dirty place, and although it's fun to go down there and play, it is not as much fun to have your guitar damaged that's cost you multiple thousands of dollars. So I really wanted to buy a Telecaster that could meet all of my tonal requirements in a gig, but also not break the bank in case it got lost or stolen. And so I bought this Telecaster from the boys at Fender. This is a Fender Squier Telecaster. Now, I love this guitar, okay? You can say what you want about buying a $200 guitar, but this guitar sounds incredible for the money. I play this on so many shows, and people come up to me, they're like, why are you playing this Squier? Like, shouldn't you have a better guitar? And I'm like, did it sound good? They're like, yeah, it sounded great. Here's why. This guitar is amazing. It's a workhorse, and it looks really, really nice. So if you love a good Telecaster for the budget, get this Squier by Fender. It is incredible, and less than $300. You can't go wrong with it. So this isn't exactly a guitar, but it is a bass guitar. This is my Fiesta Red P bass from, once again, the boys at Rust Guitars. As you guys can tell, I'm a big fan of Rust guitars. You're going to spend a lot of money on them, but they're really, really nice instruments. And what I like most about this Rust P bass is that it sounds so incredible. And the Fiesta Red. Who doesn't love a Fiesta Red nitro finish on your P bass? Now, I got into bass last year. I wanted to kind of round out some of my playing, and rounding out your playing, I'm telling you, pick up a different instrument. You're going to learn some new knowledge and get some new cool tidbits from just playing a different instrument, even for a little bit. But I didn't spend full price on this P bass. If you remember about my Bluesman vintage guitar, a lot of the times resellers will sell these guitars that are custom made for way cheaper because there isn't a market for this specific brand. And so I was able to find this Rust P bass, normally retailing for about $2,200, built from the bottom up. I got this P bass for about $800, and that's an incredible deal. Although I had to talk the guy down, this guitar sounds incredible, and for $800, you really can't beat a custom-made bass, and it sounds really, really sweet. You can hear the bass on my Final Fantasy VII Remake cover. You can check it out. Link in the description as well. This bass just sounds really great, really full, and these DiMarzio pickups just sound gorgeous with it. Guys, thanks so much for checking out this video on all these cool guitars that I've been playing these past few years. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. I make videos all the time. You're not going to want to miss a single awesome episode of IkeGuitar. And guys, I've finally reached 500 subscribers. To all of my subscribers out there, thank you so much for supporting me. Any Instagram post you send me, any comment you make, all helps this channel to grow, and I'm so happy to get to be a part of your growth as a guitar player and as a musician. Now guys, go grab a guitar and go play today. It's a great day to get better at what you love, and we'll see you guys next time.